Howdy gang, Frankie Dave back again on YouTube. Today on YouTube I have another collection of the builds of my past. Here's another paper model built entirely out of paper. This is the Albatross D-5 in Polish markings. This airplane was built from aircraft drawings from Paul Matt's Volume 2, featuring all World War I aircraft in that volume collection he has compiled together. And entirely out of paper, folks. Nothing outside paper. The only thing is onto the model itself is just foil wire to reinforce the landing gear struts and also the cabin and interplane struts. And the tail skid, that's about it. Wall ring ribs and spars and fuselage formers are made from hard Bristol board, impregnated with ACC glue or Krylite glue, however you pronounce it. You'd be surprised, fella. You take a crazy glue or Krylite glue, whatever it is, and you put it on paper, it turns into real thin plastic real quick. And it's very good to use to work with cardstock in general. Okay, this airplane does have a lot of significance in it. This is actually, as history dictates it, this is one of the favorites of, and actually the first aircraft that Baron von Richthofen used before he formed the Flying Circus. That was his favorite airplane. Of course, in the paint schedule that the Baron used was some kind of a cream-colored fuselage with red wings and a red horizontal and vertical stabilizer, and the undersides were kind of like a sky blue color or a duck egg blue, somewhere in that neighborhood, folks. But this is flown by the Polish squadron back in World War I. The Poles used them just as good as the Germans used them, and eventually this is an adversary aircraft. The German, I'm not too sure if this was a captured Polish airplane or what. To the history of the Polish squadron flying D-5s back in World War I is very unknown to me, but I surmise that the Poles used them as their captured aircraft. They used them for their own. It might be a post-war aircraft too after World War I, but I don't know. I'm not too certain. So I'm pretty much in the dark on the history of this Polish. Anyway, they was captured because somehow Paul Matt, most of his World War I planes were in Polish markings. I was very surprised about that, instead of being in the English or French markings that they used during the Signal Air Corps markings and the French markings they used during World War I. Okay, folks, as we zoom in right now, you can see the everything is done by using felt tip markers and airbrush. It was built from vanilla cardstock, and tracing over the markings on the plans, I want to duplicate them on here, and using felt tip markers, and using Jackson pencil, I incorporated the wing ribs and all the details on it. And D-5 was a very pretty little airplane. I've always liked it. It's something about the Albatross. I love the trailing edge of the wings. It's scalloped. The tires are used again from turned disc, 2 cardboard Bristol discs chucked up to a mini lathe and turned. And the propeller's been laminated. And this came out of a box. It's been in a box for about 30 years. And folks, you wouldn't believe what I got down in my basement now. Well, oh my God, if you only knew what I had down there. And so I'll be keeping you guys busy for a long time. The rigging's all done by using foil wire. I wasn't going to go ahead and use monofilament, but it's a lot quicker. Just go ahead and use regular wire stretched out. It's effective, but not really scale-like. So this is a 1/32 scale, fellas. And the wingspan of this is about, 10, 11, 12 inches, somewhere around there, about 11 inches. It's a good size airplane for it. It's a nice scale. We'll flip on the back bills, take a look at the underside. As you see, the underside is treated precisely as the top side is. You got the Polish markings underneath the wings. The wing ribs are all drawn in using a Jackson pencil. And the Polish markings were masked off using an airbrush. First of all, painted white, and go ahead and paint them to check. The catty corner checkers were painted red. And there's the insignia on the side of the fuselage right there, representing probably the squadron it flew out of. And again, that butyrate, nitrate dope is doing the job on the cardstock. I had no idea that it would do that to paper. I knew it would do it to balsa wood and tissue. If you put too much dope on it, it'll warp everything. So it's beginning to warp a little bit, not that much. But from now on, guys, I use Krylon clear. I cannot stress that paint any more than I can. It's magic in the can, I call it. Use Krylon on plastic. It's better than gloss or future, anything you used. And so I highly recommend using Krylon clear, folks, for all your finishing. And you'd be surprised what that spray, that clear spray, can do to your model. It can turn something old into new real quick. That's why I call it magic in the can. It's excellent for covering your tissue instead of using aerogloss dope. I'm finding out now more, folks, every time I venture to hobby shops in my neck of the woods, it's harder to find aerogloss dopes nowadays. I guess they're doing away with it because they got other products out there that supersede its value. So you got a lot of old school fellows like me who still like to get their hands on it, though. But there's other methods and better methods than using aerogloss dope. Of course, I'm pretty sure your spouse doesn't want to smell the house full of banana oil all day long. Oh, there's Handsome George right there smoking his pop pipe. I'm out of cigars, so I gotta go down to the store and get me another 100 more of them. And I quit smoking things, boys, I tell you. My lungs beginning to turn into a couple of saddlebags. Okay, we'll take another close-in. We'll finish up the video. You can see the close-up of the fuselage. These laminations on the prop I've done. The prop was made in 3 parts to make the prop up. I use laminations, using felt tip markers as different shades of browns to give the effect of being laminated. And the detail of this airplane is very, very, very great. It's staying up to plastic any day of the week, or even balsa wood. Okay, guys, it's time for you to shove off right now. And I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and stay tuned for another update on my F4C Phantom, the Speedy 197's group build, 1960 jet reciprocal aircraft. I have a full camo done on it this evening, so stay tuned for that. And first of the year, as I mentioned from the last video I had done, I'll go ahead and start finishing up old projects, featuring my HMS Iron Duke 1/200 scale. We'll get that out of the way. And the first of the year is going to be a big year for a lot of us. It's going to hit it off with Robert Goslin's D-Day builds, and also Steve's carrier shipboard aircraft. Okay, boys, you take care. It's me waving you bye-bye, and we'll catch you on the next video. So stay tuned, fellas, and may God bless. Happy modeling, and please subscribe. Bye, boys.